Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, oder guten Tag, should I say here in the House of the Representation of the State of North Rhine-Westphalia to the European Union. It is a pleasure to have you all with us today to celebrate the granting of the Tafisa Jurgen Palm Award to Commissioner Navracsics. I will not say more for now, and I would like to invite Tafisa Vice President, Mr. Peter Barents, on stage to say some words of welcome on behalf of Tafisa.
Thank you, Jean-François. Dear Commissioner, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Tafisa Board of Directors, it's my absolute honor to welcome each and every one of you to the Tafisa Jurgen Palm Award ceremony. Today is an exceptionally special and momentous day in the Tafisa calendar, as we present our most prestigious award to European Commissioner Tibor Navracsics for his outstanding contribution to the growth of the international sport for all movement. The prominent and distinguished award celebrates our late dear friend, Professor Jurgen Palm, the founding father of Tafisa, who in 1991 used his vision and initiative to create and develop Tafisa into the success story that it is today. Under his presidency, Professor Palm laid the foundation for Tafisa to reach its current position as the world's leading sport for all organization. In 2005, in acknowledgement of his unprecedented efforts, Professor Palm was elected honorary president of Tafisa, and in this position he continued to provide robust support to the organization. Professor Palm passed away in 2006, and this award is a way to recognize his contribution to Tafisa, as well as the wider sport for all movement. For this reason, the Jurgen Palm Award is awarded to those individuals who have made a significant and impactful long-term contribution to the field of international sport for all. Former recipients include late IXPE President Professor Margaret Talbot, former ENGSO President Bengt Sevelius, as well as IOC member Mr. Sam Ramsamai, and UN Secretary General Mr. Ban Ki-moon, who received this award alongside Commissioner Navracsics. Today, as I look around, I'm happy to say we have gathered the most important decision makers in EU sport gathered to celebrate this awarding, which is a testament to the hard work and dedication of Commissioner Navracsics. Mr. Commissioner, thank you for honoring us with your presence. We also have the honor to have with us today Tafisa Board of Director members, Mr. Herzl Hagai from Israel, Mr. Wolfgang Baumann from Germany, Mr. Dionysius Karakis from Greece, I don't see he's there, and of course Mr. Janez Sodrinčnik from Slovenia. He has to tell me later how I exactly pronounce it. I have been rehearsing, but and from the European Tafisa Steering Committee, there's Małgorzata Susalska-Wrona from Poland, Mr. Patrick Porosa from Slovenia, and Mr. Dusan Mitic from Serbia, and he is also standing, and Mr. Yasin Bolukbasi from Turkey. I would like to take this opportunity to extend a special thank you to the Tafisa Board and European Steering Committee members who are in attendance today. I would like to finish this by warmly thanking the representation of the state of North Rhine-Westphalia to the European Union, who has so generously offered to host this ceremony. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Peter. I would now like to call Mr. Jörg Zingelstein, who is Head of Unit for Sport, Culture and Events of the Representation of the State of North Rhine-Westphalia to the European Union.
Dear Mr. Commissioner Navracsics, I knew that I would make a mistake with his name. I'm sorry about that. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the representation of North Rhine-Westphalia at the European Community. We are very honored to host you tonight because we love sports. And we love sports in competitive actions as well as in popular sports. We love them all. And I want to give you 3 short examples for this. 3 weeks ago in Cologne we had parts of the handball championship. And only 10 days ago in Winterberg, we talked about it in the group, we had the sledding championship in North Rhine-Westphalia as well. So you see, in competitive sports we are quite strong and we love it. And you know, in North Rhine-Westphalia you can't talk about sports if you don't talk about football. And we are hosting Borussia Dortmund, who's leading the National League, the Bundesliga, 7 points in front of Mönchengladbach, which is North Rhine-Westphalia as well. And after that, the third club it's one of Bavaria. I don't know the name, I can't remember this. But the most important thing, the third example, the most important thing is we have more than 500,000 volunteers that are engaged in sports in North Rhine-Westphalia. And we have 18,500 clubs who are engaged in sports as well. That's quite a lot, and I guess that's the right moment and the right situation to honor Jurgen Palm again, because he's one of the men who gave the structure in Germany and in North Rhine-Westphalia as well for this situation. Thank you for that. And last fact, Jurgen Palm, he was born in North Rhine-Westphalia and he lived in Solingen, which is in the heart of North Rhine-Westphalia as well. So I guess it's a quite good place for this ceremony today. Thank you very much for coming here. And
Thank you very much, Mr. Zingelstein. And next, I would like to call Tafisa Europe Steering Committee co-chair, Mrs. Małgorzata Szukalska-Rona, who will give some words of praise for the Commissioner.
Mr. Commissioner, distinguished guests, on behalf of Sport for All community and Tafisa, I am honored to present Tafisa Jurgen Palm Award to Dr. Tibor Navracsics, European Commissioner for Education, Culture, Youth and Sport. Commissioner Navracsics has led an impressive career with professional roles starting with his training and education in law and political science, to elected member of Hungarian Parliament, Hungarian Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of Public Administration and Justice, Minister of Foreign Affairs and Trade, and most recently European Commissioner for Education, Culture, Youth and Sport. Aside from his formal titles, Commissioner Navracsics has been a passionate supporter of Sport for All and physical activity movement for a long time, and has worked hard to implement this throughout his various spheres of influence. Dr. Navracsics is a big advocate for the diverse role which sport for all and physical activity can play within society. We are very grateful for his active support towards Tafisa, which has been ongoing since the beginning of his mandate. It was evidenced in the participation in the 24th Tafisa World Congress in Budapest in 2015. Additionally, Dr. Navracsics promotes sport for all and physical activity as a powerful tool in social policy, including education, integration, youth and health. Dr. Navracsics understands and promotes the value of volunteers and volunteerism, which is the very core of Tafisa and the entire Sport for All movement. He is undoubtedly a man of grassroots sport with passion to soccer. He was evidenced from his playing in the EU team in Belgrade during the occasion of the European Week of Sport conference. Let me just name some of the Dr. Navracsics' accomplishments during his term as a commissioner. Commissioner Navracsics has increased the promotion of grassroots sport and documented in the initiation of the high-level report on grassroots sport and the implementation of its recommendations. Additionally, the large amount of funding dedicated to high-level to health-enhancing physical activity through the Erasmus Plus Sport chapter and the European Week of Sport is a testament of his achievements. Commissioner Navracsics is also the catalyst for the transforming the European Week of Sport, where TAFISA is a proud partner since the launch back in 2015, from the humble beginnings to the fully fledged continental success which it is today. Dr. Navracsics has achieved great success for the European Week of Sport. He has been focusing on increasing the number of attendees, countries and partners, evidenced through the rise of participation. Let me just mention some of the figures. From 31 to 42 countries in 2018, including the number of countries from neighborhood countries, from Eastern Partnerships and Western Balkans. Also, the number of participants is quite expressive. It's growing from 5 million to 13 million in 2018, and the number of events from 7 to 50,000 across all the countries. Not only has Commissioner Navracsics been a fundamental player in the growth of European Week of Sport, but he has also created additional components that make this event as successful as it is today. Those include the development of awards, the inauguration of European Night of Sport, the highly successful Be Active media campaign. Dr. Navracsics also expressed him pride to be official partner with TAFISA from the outset. Under Commissioner Navracsics' leadership, it is proposed that the new budget for Erasmus Plus chapter for years 2021 and 2027 will more than double compared to the previous period of the financing. It is anticipated that the budget will reach 550 million euros during this time. Coinciding with the European Week of Sport, Commissioner Navracsics, alongside Commissioner Phil Hogan and Commissioner Vytenis Andriukaitis, launched the Tartu Call for Health Lifestyle, which set out a roadmap for promoting healthy lifestyle in Europe, focusing particularly on children. Overall, the call included 15 important actions which tackled the fight against sedentary lifestyle and unhealthy diets. This groundbreaking project was fundamental in strengthening cooperation across different policy areas and directorates general inside the Commission. And finally, it is important to acknowledge the support and encouragement that Mr. Navracsics has shown toward the traditional sport and games movement. From a specific TAFISA perspective, many of the Commissioner Navracsics' accomplishments in Europe and European Union have strong potential to reach other regions of the world. There are already TAFISA member countries who are shown interest to learn more about initiatives such as European Week of Sport and how to implement those in their own countries. This is what I would describe the legacy of Mr. Commissioner work, and I have no doubts that it will create a long-lasting impact to the entire Sport for All movement. If TAFISA could have one wish granted from the Commissioner on this special day, it would be his support to assist the EU in exporting European best practices to other regions of the world. We believe that it would be a great success story for all involved. To conclude, I believe that TAFISA Mission 2030 to create a better world through sport for all could not be better embodied than by Commissioner Navracsics, which placed his Be Active vision and action and grassroots sport not as a task, but as a passion and personal engagement. Commissioner Navracsics is an example of what the Jurgen Palm Award stands for, and for these reasons we would like to honor his dedication with the presentation of the Jurgen Palm Award. So, Mr. Commissioner, please, if I could invite you to the stage, and Mr. Lagai,
behalf of the family of Tapisa, I'm very proud to give you the Jurgen Palm Award. Thank you very much for the support and all activities. Thank you. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
According to the program, I
Congratulations.
have to give a detailed speech, but thank you very much indeed. My situation is even more difficult because Margojeta has said almost everything which was written in my speech. So what I can tell you is a big thank you, and probably I try to give you a brief explanation or a description of my motivation, why I do think that it's not simply a nice job, but it's an obligation, a moral obligation for a politician to do his utmost for the benefit of grassroots sport and sports. You know, I practice sports every day, or almost every day. Unfortunately, this is already an exemption in Europe, as we can see the data collected by several statistical offices. Obesity is one of the biggest problem of contemporary Europe. But on the other hand, as a personal motivation, as a politician coming from one of the most competitive political systems of Europe, because the Hungarian political life is really you got some taste about it, but it's even more and deeper joy than you can imagine. We have single-member constituencies, just like in the United Kingdom. So you can imagine that a politician has really to deliver. I mean, it's their obligation to deliver to the constituency. And when I arrived here in Brussels, to overcome my difficulties was to transform this sometimes very neutral, very abstract position into an elected politician's position. And I just put you as my constituency, and I thought that that could be the measurement of my performance, if you are happy with my performance. And in sport, I think that was a perfect match, because I've never met such positively thinking, personally committed people than you, the sports family. And Szabolcs can say that I always told him that that's the nicest surprise in my life, that you were so committed, you adopted me so quickly, and we really could do something significant in sport. And I think that's a very good beginning for my successor. That could be a burden to make some more achievements at European level, and because, you know, to start something, it's always easier than to continue something. But his or her job would be a very good job, I'm sure, with you, because sport is really about communities, and you are perfect representatives of your communities, and you are perfect members of my constituency. So even if I leave in November, or probably later, who knows what will be the political composition of the next European Parliament, and what will be the political turbulences of the next autumn, but in my soul, you will be my constituency in the future as well, because sport and the people in sport really gave me a very good example how committed people can make huge achievements, and how could we work together to reach something meaningful, something important, which is good for everybody, because sport is good for everybody, healthy lifestyle is good for everybody, and probably this is one of the biggest assets of future societies. So let's continue this cooperation, and thank you very much. I'm really honored with this.
Thank you very much, Mr. Commissioner, for those kind words. We would like to finish this formal part of the program by some family pictures. So I would like to ask Mr. Commissioner, again, if possible,